Greetings, this is TimeRider. There are a great many things that are iconically British, and if you were to make a list, Jaguar would have to be among them. Here's an interesting note. Jaguar has its birth in a company called the Swallow Sidecar Company, which made, you guessed it, sidecars for motorcycles. Then, in a biblical fashion, Swallow begat SS cars, and they beget someone else, who beget someone else ad infinitum, and today you have Jaguar Land Rover. The E-Type, or for us Yanks, a Jaguar XKE, was produced from 1961 to 1975. They went 150 miles an hour, or 241 kilometers per hour, and did 0 to 60 in less than 7 seconds. It had a novel chassis design and won many, many races. Sports Car International magazine named it the #1 sports car on their list of sports cars of the 60s. Lesney manufactured the casting from 62 to 65, but continued to sell them until 67. There are some variations. Those produced in 1962 have gray wheels. They come in either red or metallic bronze, and some of the early versions have green windows. I am going to be doing a custom on this one. Disassembly of the toy was very straightforward. It had a mushroomed post in the front and a mushroomed post in the back. It's just a matter of drilling them out. And at that point, the toy popped apart pretty easily, actually. And then I guess I kind of stopped and took a really good look at this casting, and you can kind of see that back corner is really, really corroded. And the rest of the casting isn't too bad, but I thought I might try to fix it, because if I could, then I could restore it. The interior was spotless, the glass was spotless, the bottom was in pretty good condition, just needed a good cleaning, mostly anyway. And then with the 1/16 inch drill bit, I'm going to drill out these posts, because I do have to put it back together at some point in time. I used to just put my finger under there and people yelled at me. And I know these screws that I use are supposedly self-tapping, but I always prefer to tap the holes. It makes the process easier. And I used citrus stripper on this, and once I got the paint off, I should say once I got it out of the stripper, most of the paint came off. There was a little bit that didn't. So it all came off really easily with the wire brush. I'll get at that back corner. I was going to try to fix it using glazing compound, but I had to get it, relatively rust-free first, which is, pretty hard to do. But I got rid of most of the corrosion. And then after I put the glazing compound and sanded it, I primed it and sanded it to shape the bumpers, because at this point I'm still thinking I'd like to try to restore this thing, and to do that I kind of got to make something out of that bumper. I had it going pretty good too. But I gotta say, in the end, I don't know, I just wound up not being very happy with it. This is another car that I primed a number of times. I would do a little bit of repair, and then I would prime it, and then do a little bit of repair, and then prime it. It became apparent that I was going to have to do a custom with this, so I went on the internet and started looking at Jaguar racers and found that they take the bumpers off. So I have a lot of filing and shaping in store for me. So hopefully, you wind up with something that looks kind of like this. The casting is not perfect. It still has many imperfections in it, but with a little luck and a little patience, the primer should fill in those imperfections and make for a smooth surface with superior adhesion. People ask me sometimes why I prime. Well, that's why. I'm not dealing with a new casting. I'm dealing with a casting that's been played with and skipped across the driveway and scuffed and who knows what else. But anyway, enough about that. I really had quite a quandary about what color to paint this car. And of course, I had as many suggestions as there are people suggesting. Hopefully this is the last time that I'm going to be priming it, though. In the last analysis, though, I think there was only one color that really made sense. So, let's talk about green. Specifically, British racing green. What is it, and where did it come from? Well, let me start with the latter. In the early 1900s, the entrants in the Gordon Bennett Cup had to paint their cars a different color, different from each other. America, Germany, and France had already claimed red, white, and blue, and at the time, motor racing was illegal in the UK. It's said that British chose Shamrock Green as an homage to the Irish hosts of the 1903 race. So here I am, I'm putting a little bit of a tack coat on it, then I'll wait a little bit and come back and paint it some more. So anyway, what is it? Well, Wikipedia says it's similar to Brunswick green, hunter green, forest green, or moss green, and it even includes some metallic greens as of late. The version that I came up with contains X1, Tamiya X1, Tamiya X6, and a wee bit of Tamiya XF70, which is a flat paint, I know, but I needed the darker green, and that was what I had. So is my version British racing green? Well, I don't know, and I don't think the Brits know either, to be honest with you, because if you Google British racing green and look at the images, there are about as many shades of it as there are cars that claim to be painted British racing green. But it just seemed like the right color to me, so British racing green it is. It's actually a pretty color, don't get me wrong. And the more I lay on, I generally lay it on a little bit thicker each pass because I'm trying to get that natural shine that will come eventually. Be sure to get the bottom. Wouldn't want to have a wheel well be white on the inside. And I'm going a little heavier here. This is a really nice casting too. I really like it. I think it's one of the best. It's not very big. Usually on the tail end, if I haven't quite got it yet, I'll throw a little X22 clear in with the paint. And then I'll run that out and throw in straight X22 after that. I really want this to shine. So now I'm just going to take a minute here and strip the paint off the bottom of this model. A little bit of citrus stripper, and it really made quick work of it. And then, you got to clean it up a little bit because all those little letters have little bits of black paint in them still. Touch on the wheels while I'm busy with this. And I need to clean the plastic pieces. They weren't really dirty, but, I'm going to paint this, so I want it to be clean. The windshield was in pretty good shape. It didn't have any cracks or any really deep scratches. And I just taped off the wheels and painted this with semi-gloss black. So number 2 is the number I wear when I play hockey. And then I found these wee little Union Jacks on the internet that I thought would make a perfect complement to the door numbers. They were a fiddly bit too, let me tell you. A little bit of detail in the grill. And actually I didn't do it on camera because I had my head held right over it, but once this dried, I went and scraped it off of that skinny little bitty rail right down the middle of the grill. And the wheels, I kind of had something, I don't know, special planned. I painted the spoke area with black paint. Very thin black paint. And then with a chrome pen, a highlight to the outer edge of the rim will set those black spokes off very nicely. And a little dot in the center too, just 'cause. I had painted the interior flat black, and then I wanted to paint the steering wheel flat brown. I don't know, wood or leather or something, who the heck knows. Then, of course, we can't forget about the tires. So they all get to go to TR's Wheel and Tire, and they're going to get a coat of tire wash. And yes, I did do both sides of the tire. Assembly was pretty straightforward. Pop in the window, pop in the seats. Get the bottom on the correct way. He's trying to put it on backwards there. Oh, oops. There we go. Took a little flea bite out of the bottom. Oh well, nobody can see that. And we'll screw her together. Which brings us right back to square one. A ruby red number 32B Jaguar E-Type. Clearly seen better days, but still in very, very good condition considering. Should we take a look at where I wound up? I know I've been talking about this particular casting for a while, and I hope it was worth the wait. It was an irony that this morning when I went on the internet, as I was finishing up this video, I saw that another artist had done a custom on the exact same video, and that, I want to assure everybody, is just a coincidence. There was no collusion or pre-plan. But anyway, here we have it, the Matchbox number 32B Jaguar E-Type. Custom. Stick around for an episode of The Bench. This is TimeRider, and I'll leave the light on for you. Hey, thanks everybody for sticking around for this version of The Bench. First, I wanted to talk a little bit about our June cooperative build, luxury cars. Reminder, Hodges Hot Wheels and Diecast is going to be doing a 1969 Redline Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow. And we're going to follow that up with Matchbox Garage. And Rob over there is going to be building a Matchbox 65A Jaguar 3.4 liter. Nick over at Matchbox Restoration is going to be building us a Matchbox number 53B Mercedes-Benz 220 SE. Nick's Toy Garage is going to be building a Matchbox 65B, the Jaguar 3.8 liter. Tony's Diecast Restos, he's going to be doing that super fast Matchbox Lincoln Town Car, and I'm going to be doing the number 44B Rolls-Royce Phantom. That's going to come out on June 1st, so stick around. So then, as you all know, I started working on my very first majorette, and I had mentioned that I was probably going to have to fill in a hole in the roof. So I'm working on that. I'm hoping to get that one done. I've kind of given a lot of priority to that one because I'm really, really excited about this particular casting. I've never done a majorette before, and I can tell you they're really, really, really well done little toys. So look forward to that. And earlier this week, if you watched closely, you saw me throw this 911 back into a jar of stripper. Well, it's out of the stripper and it's got a coat of primer paint on it. I can tell you this right now, it will not be painted red. And a big shout out to MK Model Car Parts in the Netherlands. I've had this 45B for a while, and it's always been missing the boat and the roof rack. Well, thanks to €5, you can watch me put this thing back together. So anyway, thanks for sticking around for that. These things are always missing the boat. Anyhow, it's raining here in Minnesota today, and it's cold and blustery. It's a perfect day for working on diecast, so that's what I'm going to be doing. You all have a great weekend, and hopefully see you next time. This is TimeRider. Everybody, please be safe.